on Friday, former pound for pound king Floyd Mayweather Jr., he was in Miami. He's stepping back into the ring to fight YouTube sensation, I guess that's what you'd call him now, boxer Logan Paul on June 6th. It will be at Hard Rock Stadium. Both camps were there for a news conference, but that was not the biggest deal. After that news conference, Jake Paul, Logan's younger brother, got into an altercation with Mayweather, which prompted Jake to snatch Mayweather's hat in almost a jokingly manner and try to run off with it. And that basically ignited a mini scrum between both camps. And there was video giving you all angles on social media, just a bleep show in its finest hour. Dylan, let me start with you. How serious should we be taking this fight? And more importantly, Dylan, is this quote unquote fight detrimental for the sport of boxing?
You might want to unmute yourself again. That might be a thought.
I've done it again.
Dylan.
Oh, man. That is, oh, God. Mute me once, shame on me. Mute me twice.
We'll get muted again.
But because here's the thing. I can understand, it's really complicated because I can understand why people think this is detrimental to boxing. But at the same time, boxing has a problem because it is not a sport that has really entertained the young masses in a very extended period of time. I come from a family that really loves boxing. But this is a serious issue if boxing wants to sustain itself here in the 21st century and as we move forward in the decades. They're going to have to play to audiences. And, you know, this is certainly not the audience of me that they're playing to and having either of the Pauls be involved. You know, it's nothing against them. It's not really my thing, I guess. But I can understand why people think this is a detriment to the sport. But nevertheless, the sport needs to do something to keep people entertained. But boxing has a lot of trouble marketing itself. And if they need to do some kind of plastic fight in order to get people involved, like they did Mayweather-McGregor, then you know what? I'm all for it.
It's weird because I think about boxing in the last 20 years, and the most anticipated fight of my life was Mayweather-Pacquiao in 2015. They finally got it. They've been working on it for years. And what happens in the fight? It's terrible. Right. Mayweather's just playing defense basically the entire time. Pacquiao couldn't really keep up. He wasn't the fighter he was 5-10 years before. And you could tell. And people felt like they didn't get their money's worth. I didn't actually watch that fight. A bunch of my friends did. They were talking about it for days. They were really excited about it. And Mayweather just kind of did what he does. And it was a really, frankly, boring fight that people didn't like. And then the next big fight after that, unless I'm skipping one, was Mayweather-McGregor. And McGregor's not a boxer. I mean, he took Mayweather to, the 10th round or something like that? And now you've got, Ben Askren was in a fight a few weeks ago, I could have sworn. Nate Robinson was in a fight at some point. I think I have foggy memories of this stuff where I want to convince myself it's not real, but it's real. And it's Andrew, when you were reading that, I was just laughing the whole time. Floyd Mayweather is fighting a random guy on the internet. I never thought I'd see the day, but here we are.
No, this is, Taylor Twellman said it best. What are we doing? This is a killer. I hate that Logan and Jake Paul have gotten enough fame where they can headline boxing fights and make money that way. I hate that Floyd Mayweather Jr., somebody who is, whether you like him or not, the stuff he's done out of the ring, in the ring, he's one of the greatest boxers of all time. For him to kind of stoop down and take the money and fight Logan Paul, that just goes to show me that Floyd, he could fight again, but he's not going to fight one of these young, hungry contenders because he doesn't want to lose that 0 in his perfect record. So he'd rather do this exhibition and gain some more money in his pocket. I don't hate you for that, Floyd. But when I think about my dad, and the VHS tapes that he has somewhere in our basement, and some of the fights that he has there, Julio Cesar Chavez and Meldrick Taylor, Tyson Spinks, Hagler Hearns, Hagler Leonard. My dad grew up loving boxing, and now when he sees stuff like this, to him, it's just, he'd rather just go watch MMA, mixed martial arts, the UFC, what Dana White's doing. They put the best fighters together to fight each other consistently. Boxing does not do that. Top ranked, Showtime, all of you guys, PBC, all of you guys are punks. You don't want to put your best boxers to fight each other. Oh, because I don't want him to lose his perfect record. If he has one loss, it's over. Hogwash. Have the best fighters fight the best fighters. If not, everyone's going to be done with boxing, and MMA is going to take the world by storm, as it's already doing right now. It's only going to get more popular. Boxing is heading down a dark path, at least for baseball. They can kind of get out of it if they want. They can get out of their own way and make it more entertainable. That's not even a word. More entertaining for the younger demographic. But for boxing right now, in this path, it's going to be a sport that we're going to look at and say, oh my God, people watch boxing?